Okay. Wow, we have started. All right. Okay. Welcome to the Aligned Feminine podcast, where we share our stories, wisdom, dreams, and awakenings. Today, I'm sitting down with a true trailblazer in the realm of human resources. Our guest is a seasoned professional with 17 years of experience as a strategic and innovative HR catalyst, and who is powerfully dedicated to her purpose in imparting and sharing inner peace with everyone. She possesses a remarkable ability to translate business vision into HR initiatives that go beyond the conventional, making a tangible impact on employee well being, profitability, growth, and employee experience. Our guest thrives on more than just HR strategies. She is dedicated in regulating our collective consciousness that helps align our nervous system and our emotions, allowing us to embody the best version of ourselves. Today, we'll dive deep into her journey, exploring the intersections of gratitude, human connection, and the pursuit of excellence, going beyond the traditional boundaries of HR as we welcome a catalyst for change. A humble girl from Kerala who is co creating with the universe one day at a time. Without further ado, let's meet our guest, Aarati Mohan. Hi, Aarti.
Hi, Akanksha. It is just amazing to be in this moment
Yeah.
of stillness, of joy. I was just soaking up everything you were reading. I mean, I was like, "Is this like about me?" But
Yes.
yeah, it's beautiful, and thank you for that note. It's really wonderful, and it's such an honor. In fact, if it isn't too much of a stretch,
Mm-hmm.
it's a dream for me to be talking to you on a platform like this. So.
Oh my God. So this is my dream coming true, and you are making it possible because you are literally my first like official guest on the podcast. So it's like I'm losing my podcast virginity to you.
Honored,
And
honored.
and I am so honored to have you here. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Thank you for making me a part of your journey and being a part of mine. This is so great, and I'm so happy that I know you now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, on so many levels.
It's just amazing. I mean, I still remember the days or the months ago where I was just look. I used to look at your page, and I'm like, who is this girl? I know her from somewhere. Like I don't know her, but there's this connective consciousness. I know the word consciousness itself is so. It's so bizarre because you can't touch it. It's not tangible, but you feel so connected with it, and I think that
Yeah.
consciousness is what got me connected to you.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, with some people, it's just so natural and
Yeah,
effortless where you're like, yeah, it feels like, yeah, this will be very like easy, a very easy connection to make.
yes,
You don't get
yes,
that with everyone. And of course, there is that whole concept of we are all
yeah,
one, we are all the same consciousness, just
yeah,
different like bodies
yes,
and different versions of that consciousness. But yeah, it's just easier with some people, I feel.
absolutely. Different versions with on different timelines. That's very important to
Different
stay connected.
timelines, different frequencies,
Yeah,
yeah, different
so much.
purposes, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nice. You're
Okay,
looking you're looking pretty, by the way. Very
thank
pretty.
you, thank you. So are you.
Thank you.
All
Yeah.
right, okay, so I'm gonna dive into this, and first, just like to start this off, I want to know from you, what does alignment mean to you personally? What does being in alignment, what would that feel like and look like to you?
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. Alignment to me has always been, even before I knew the essence of the word itself. And now I know the essence of the word alignment. I think it is anything that is freeing, anything that is easy, where I don't have resistance at all. I think that is. alignment to me, and I connect with it easily. I connect with it easily when I break it down to terms that I can relate to in my day-to-day life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, of course, it makes sense because I feel like, yeah, when you're in alignment, you're also literally on the path of like least
Least
resistance. So
resistance.
things are that are meant for you are just coming to you,
Yeah, it
you know?
just comes. I mean, if I had to take an example of this question, so every day morning I have this lovely German Shepherd, whom I love, my baby. So when I walk him, there is this very humanly nature that we like. Oh my God, do like be careful, and there are cars coming and all of that. So we kind of hold the leash and make sure that they don't get hurt, but they don't care, they know what they're doing, they're just like sniffing everything around. And today when I was walking him, I just tried something new. So there's this concept where I want to do something new every day. It could be as simple as this.
Oh, that's
So I said,
beautiful. Okay.
yeah, so I said, I'm not going to pull this boy, and I'm just going to see how it's going. So the path to least resistance is right here, what I was practicing. And believe it or not, I was like, okay, nothing happened. You see, I don't need to calm my nerves to make sure nothing goes wrong, because nothing is going wrong. So I think that's alignment
Yeah.
for me right there.
That's such a beautiful way that you sort of explained it with just like holding the leash, but
Leash,
then
yeah.
also like being like, yeah, what would it look like if you just let go of the leash
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
have on yourself
Yeah, and it was a
in
very
many ways?
conscious choice, because it becomes a practice. You start noticing resistance easily and faster when you're on this path. So, and then you break it down to things that you can actually relate to in your day-to-day life. So that was something that I was
Yeah,
in total alignment with this morning.
nice. And yeah, so tell me, like when you realize that there is resistance coming up towards anything,
Yeah,
and you become aware of the resistance,
yeah,
is there anything specific that you do in order to like deal with the resistance? Do you sit
yeah.
down, have a conversation with yourself, or what do you do?
So this comes up almost every day, right,
Of
in
course.
all our lives, and every time it does, I have this quote by Abraham Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time I say, everything's working out for me. Everything's working out for me, and universe, you know what I want already. So give it to me on the path of least, that is of least resistance. And just like that, my nervous system is just like calm, because you become aware that you are not the awareness. So
Yeah.
is something higher to that. So that
Yeah.
kind of brings me back to my core.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you mentioned awareness, and this book that I just read,
Yeah.
The Greatest Secret, which is kind of like
Mm.
a sequel to The Secret.
Mm.
That is what that book is about, where
Okay.
it's like whatever you're experiencing, if you just take a moment and you slow down and you're like, am I this emotion or am I the awareness of this emotion?
Yeah.
And then every time you do it, you realize you're just this awareness, which is
Yeah.
also just another word for the consciousness, right? The
Yeah.
collective consciousness.
Yes. Yes.
And then everything is happening to you
Yeah.
because it's meant to happen in your highest good. Yeah.
Yes, and also that I learned from my therapist, that everything that we experience in our life, it's all written. The soul is already. I mean, it's scripted, the whole thing, from the gender to the face to the way we look. So
Yeah.
everything is. That's why it's called soul contracts, right? Yes, can we change it? Absolutely. How? By the way we react. It's so simple. You don't need to wear a saffron robe and sit in the Himalayas. No, it's just the way we just have to realize that we are here to just experience stuff and nothing else.
Yes.
Just
Yes,
that.
girl, say it. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a topic.
Experience it. Sorry, please tell me.
No, I just said we're just here to experience it, and this is a topic that it's like I thrive on it. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, and experience it and enjoy it.
Yeah,
Fuck, like, yeah, you don't have to choose the misery, you can choose the pleasure
yeah,
also. We just forget that we
absolutely.
have that choice sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I also want to touch upon intuition.
Hmm.
So, how do you feel like you have a strong connection to your intuition? If yes, what does that again, like, what does that
Yeah.
feel like? Do you have any practices that you do either daily or weekly or however
Yeah.
often,
Yeah.
which put you in touch with like your deeper power, your intuition?
Yeah, that's a good question. That didn't come easily. Definitely did
Yeah.
not. For all that my beautiful life has given me, uh, but how do I know, or when am I strongest with it? Uh, it's when I know there's something bigger than me. It's when I am open
Mm-hmm.
to just realize that I'm just a fucking speck in the
Mm,
cosmos.
yeah.
So when I'm just a speck, so there is something connected to the rest of the rest of the world, the rest of the universe. So then my intuition is, it just kicks in. It's already there. We are it, right?
Yeah.
Because of all the conditioning and the social norms and the trauma that we have been through, even the good, the bad, the ugly trauma doesn't mean you have to be you must have gone through something really bad in life. No, anything, any emotion that is not regulated the way it has to at that moment of time is trauma, right? So
Yeah.
with all that, knowing that there is this thing called intuition, which is basically you itself, is tough. So I am most connected to it when I remember there's so much more than me. There's so much more than the job, than the house, than the doggy, everything. So that's when it's strongest. And now, because of the practices that I have been inculcating all these years, which is, I started off with journaling because I didn't know what the hell journaling was. I was like, I'm just going to write.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but I'm just going to put it out there. And I
Yeah.
did that as a practice every single day in the morning. And then I realized, okay, there's a lot coming up, so let's do more of it. So the more I put my feelings out somewhere, on a book, uh, uh, or just talking to a friend, I realized that, okay, I'm making more space for my intuition, which is this bigger self of my body. That started coming in. So, and then
Yeah.
it just became effortless, Then there's
That's
no,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people, because I know a lot of people struggle with the concept of journaling because they freeze at like, oh, what do I even write? So if you can, share with us, how did you start your journaling? What did you actually like put down in the journal?
I remember this scene. This was so. This is so ironic that you're actually asking me this question. So I was so frustrated at that point of time, and I said, I love the terrace. So I live by the beach, and I can see the,
The
yeah,
dream.
yeah,
Okay.
the dream. I'm blessed that way. Just looking at the sea, and I said, I was so frustrated. I took Ficelle up to the terrace, and I said, and I took this old scrappy book of mine, which which was no condition to actually write, but I took a pen, and I started actually venting out so much about the situation, like, oh, I don't like this, oh, this was terrible, oh, how could they do this, and then I realized, okay, there's a lot coming up. So my first so my first writing was actually like cursing the universe. I know it sounds so
Okay.
terrible now,
No,
but
not at all. Yeah.
that was it. And I said, I don't know what you're going to do, God, but you have to fix this because this is not right. And then I closed my book, and then I came back home. So that was my first experience of journaling, which of course evolved with time.
Yeah.
There are a lot more
Yeah.
that.
So like, again, it's like just just like puking everything out.
Yes, just
Like, I
puking.
hate this, I hate you, I hate that
Yeah,
person. Why is
yeah,
this happening to me? And just like literally being in your very, very raw, real
yeah.
element, I feel,
Yes,
right?
yes. That
Yeah.
was it.
Because I think also with this has happened to me a few times where it's like the more work I do, the more inner work I do, I almost sometimes judge myself if I'm trying to express my very like raw truth, which is not considered ideal or good in a way, right? If you're like
Yeah.
really angry with someone. So I'll be like, oh, but like, how can you be so angry? You've done all this work. But no,
Yeah.
that's like, you still have to be true to yourself and be able to express whatever is coming up for
Yeah,
you.
and you should. I think this journey, we must realize that we don't need to be in any particular type, even when we are on this journey. That's the beauty of it. I know it's so easy. It's easier said than done,
Yeah.
but yeah, the more you just sit with it, I think people struggle to just sit with everything that is going on with them. Um, and it's only because it's not their fault. It's That's what they chose, and they are where they are on their timeline. In fact, they are exactly where they're supposed to be. So there's no judgment there at all. But I think we should start educating and putting the word out there more of stillness, just
Yes.
stillness,
Yeah.
just clarity and wellness and stillness, because that opens up a lot than we can
Yeah.
ever imagine. So yeah.
Yeah. And that is the scary part for so many people, which
Yeah.
is why it's difficult to be in that stillness, which is why we go out and look for all these distractions,
Yes,
a new
yes.
event or like a new like
Yeah,
Netflix series that you
yeah.
have to watch or like alcohol and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So that's escapism, right, Babe?
Yeah.
It's when you find a way to escape your reality.
Yeah.
It's only a trauma. It's only a response that your nervous system is throwing out there. That's saying that, "Hey, don't go there. It's scary. So try something else." Once the escapism modality or pattern becomes familiar, then it's very difficult to get back to that stillness that we're talking about. But yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, tell me what your routine looks like your
In
morning
a day.
routine. Yeah, tell me what it looks like.
It's funny that you're asking me all the questions that I've been really thinking about the last 2 3 days. I mean, that's synchronicity right there for the audience. So yeah, the routine. I'm quite fed up of it. I'll be honest.
Okay,
I
all
want
right.
change, but the first thing I get up in the morning is try to get my dreams on paper, because I have been doing this as a practice for quite some time.
Okay,
My my homeopathy doctor actually suggested it, whom I am not in touch with anymore though.
okay,
But yeah, she did suggest this because my dreams are the portal to my subconscious, and for me to understand who I am, it's only through my subconscious. I don't think there's any other way for me to kind of a easier way. So
yeah,
writing down my dreams first thing, drinking lots of water, and then and just coming, I make my bed and all, and then I come to my living room, and I go and greet my dog. That's the first thing I do, because I'm like, oh my god, we survived another night together.
that's so sweet.
Yeah, and
Okay,
every day, like I go to him like, oh my god, are you okay? Baby,
okay, oh,
good
I love
morning.
that.
Yeah, good morning. And he's like, is she okay? Like, what's wrong with her? So I do that every time, and that comes from my father, because my father used to greet me good morning every day, and that became like,
Oh,
I want to carry that tradition with Ficelle. So I do that, and he just goes back to sleep, and I just sit in my living room in my bright royal blue sofa, and I just take a few moments to be with myself. And of course, then I jump on my phone. I'm not going to lie. I
okay,
jump onto my phone. But yeah, I do sit with myself and see what my day is going to look like. I set intentions. I do write in the morning only. I take about 5-10 minutes. Or if I don't feel like writing, which sometimes most days I don't, I just set the intention of what my day I want, what I would like my day to look like. So that
Okay.
intention is very mental now.
Okay, so it's something that you just run through in your mind. You don't
My
actually say it out loud.
Yeah, no, I don't say it out loud
Okay. Okay.
unless I'm listening to a guided meditation, or I listen to my affirmations, which is very rare. I do that too some days, but
Okay.
yes, it's very mental these days. It's become like a habit almost, where I can just think and it'll happen exactly that way.
Okay. But is it like you're kind of visualizing what your day is going to look like?
Visualizing in images, no. Visualizing
Okay.
in voice, yes, because
Okay.
I'm very connected to my inner voice,
Okay.
or my intuition, if you have to say it better, which is very clear. So what I would like my day to be like, and how grateful I stick to gratitude
Yeah.
all the time. It's
Yeah.
such a natural state of mind. And I remember somebody telling me, this girl is grateful, so that's very, very good. So that just stuck with me at a very young age. And I genuinely am very grateful to where I am today, with all that I have carried myself with. So yeah, so that, and then I have my breakfast. I start work. I have this lovely organization that I work with. So I start off my work, but before I start, I also walk the dog, as I told you earlier. I walk the dog,
Okay.
and then I start my work. And then, yeah, by the evening, I wrap up work early, and go to the gym, and just do home stuff. Yeah,
Okay. You come back from the gym and you do your home
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Is there anything you do before you go to bed as well?
Yes, yes. Every day in the night, I listen to frequencies,
Okay.
depending on what my mood is. Every single night before I go, I kind of program my subconscious, because I'm very ready for bed, right? I don't
Yeah.
like distractions. I, of course, get onto my Insta and do whatever. I put up all the stories that I what my heart desires. But for me, Instagram is very, very educational. And before I go to bed, I kind of make love to my subconscious, if I have to.
Oh my God, that is
Yeah,
the best thing I've heard this
yeah.
week. Okay. I think I
I,
might like take that from you, like
yeah,
make
you
love to
should.
my
You
subconscious.
really should,
Yeah.
because it listens.
Damn.
You got to, say, hey, you know what? Show me what you got tonight, and it really works. It really
That's
works.
blowing my mind. Wow. I have not heard that anywhere. This is
This
amazing.
is true.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very intentional, right? Because
Yeah.
everything is intention. And then when I say this with the frequencies, with a 524, or a or a 728, which really I cannot explain it, but it kind of matches or aligns with what I want or what I'm feeling. So yeah, it's very intentional, and I always make love to the subconscious, and then I sleep. So that's why my dreams are very cognitive in nature, and they give me so much clarity when I need it the most. So yeah.
Wow, that's a great idea. I think even I might try that. Like, but tell me how you pick the frequencies. Do you decide that this is kind of what I want to focus
No,
on? So
no,
then,
sometimes no. So it's so, again, it's intuition. Whatever I feel like, whatever
okay,
I'm looking at my past histories of videos on YouTube. Sometimes it can just be guided meditations on quantum leaps. It's just to get you in a state of awareness.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just to get you in a state of awareness, and that is not distracting too much from what you really want to do. Yeah.
But like they say, right? Frequencies are also very healing. So like
Yes.
X frequency is for your heart chakra.
Yeah.
So that is not kind of what your focus
No,
is,
that's
though.
not what I focus on. Yes,
Okay.
there's a love frequency. There's a frequency to remove toxins and change your DNA cellular structure and stuff. No, I don't go with that. But if
Okay.
something like that comes up, for me, it's very instinctive, babe. It's something that if I feel it, I'll do it. I'll
Okay.
just go for it.
And do you have like a set playlist where all of this is stacked up, or do you actually go out and look for something new every night?
It's actually something new every night.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice because it kind of becomes like a little adventure, right? You go
Yes.
out, you
Yes.
see what's there, then you pick something according to like what you are feeling
Yes.
into.
It's
Nice.
very conscious because I'm so hungry to learn something new, to know something new, because I've reached a state where I will not be pulled back into the old versions of myself, which I can slip very easily with. So for me, this newness is like on Spotify. I have a playlist that says newness because
Okay.
it's the new me, and I want to try everything new.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. All
yeah.
right. Okay. Tell me more about what dreams or goals you have right now. Like, is there anything specific that you are sort of flowing towards in life?
That's deep.
It
Yes.
doesn't have to be deep. It could just
Oh,
be like,
I
I don't
love
know.
deep. Are you kidding me? I'm born for this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, what's my goals? To be very honest with you, my dream, or rather my goal, is to break time or to fold time and
Mm,
jump into this timeline where
yes.
I'm debt free, Akanksha. I want to be
Hmm.
debt free, and I know it already. I can do it by folding time.
Yes.
And how do I fold time? When I use the word fold, it's by creating a new identity of myself. That's why this newness that I keep saying, I think it's helping me create a new identity, because as women especially, we are tied down to so many patterns and so many structures that we are told, or the society tells us to be with ourselves. So I want to break free from all of that, and my goal is to just live a debt free life quickly. That's my goal.
Okay. That's great. That's a great goal to have. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, now especially because you said like, women have these. So I mean, not that I'm saying that men don't, but
Yeah.
we have so many societal
Yeah.
roles that we must play because it's almost as if, we draw our worthiness from that.
From it, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So is there a way in which you build a habit or something where you're like, okay, you recognize that this is a limiting belief or this is just conditioning that I have. Is
Yes.
there a way where you can,
Identify.
yeah, identify it?
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely have been able to identify it very neatly of late. One of the big reasons is thanks to you. Your breathwork sessions, girl, is something else. Like,
Thank you.
no, seriously, like, first of all, again, never heard of breath work. Never, I mean, I have done breath work. I have really nice friends online who do it outside India, in the US. But again, that connectivity, that flow,
Yeah.
that practice should come. And with you, it was like something just like put 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 opened up. Like, I'm like, okay. Yeah. So understanding the pattern as a woman of where my limiting beliefs are, uh, is breath work helped me there. So and how did I do it? So I was a single child, and I was the only child for my parents, my beautiful mother and my father, who love me so much. But the way I was brought up was, I am such an emotional being, and I used to react very fast.
Okay.
So when you're emotional and you react fast, it's not the best of things, you know what I
Of
mean?
course. Yeah.
And especially with friends or at work, and in our relationships, in our romantic relationships. And then I started realizing, as a woman, uh, there are a lot of beliefs that I picked up, um, in reaction itself. And then with this awareness of breath work and meditation and journaling, I realized I don't need to react, I just need to respond.
Mm,
And that state of responsiveness comes when you know that your nervous system should be in a state to respond and not react.
yeah.
So yeah, so these beliefs that are so strong within me, it's such a Herculean task for me to get out of it sometimes. But when it does pop up and come to the surface, I am able to give love to it, and I'm able to give love to myself and say, you know what, Aarti, it's okay. तूने गाली दी, ठीक है, it's okay. You had to do it. But then I go back immediately. It's almost ask for forgiveness to myself, which is very, very important to me, and
Yeah.
then of course to the other person or the place or the situation. So yes, the responsiveness is one way I learned to break it.
Yeah, and it's also about the choice between reacting and responding comes from being able to feel safe, right, in
Yeah.
your own body, which
Yes.
is what
Yes.
like the whole nervous system
Yes.
regulation is about.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I've never felt safe all my life. I was always, I mean, not deliberately, of course. I was. It so happened that safety was not in the books at all. So
Hmm.
feeling unsafe became uh, the
Your normal,
safe, yeah, my
your normal
normal,
state.
which my normal state. So
Yeah.
unconsciously, when you are in this state since childhood, you pick up a lot of stuff that starts to reflect in your adult life, and then you're like, okay, that's not working out. So, yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of going within happens during this time.
Yeah. True. True. Okay, and yes, because this podcast is called The Aligned Feminine. Now, we've spoken about alignment, but I also want to talk about the feminine. What does the feminine mean to you? And of course, I don't mean feminine as in like wearing pink, but your
I know.
feminine energy, your feminine essence. Do you feel you are connected to your feminine energy? If yes, how do you know that you are? Are there, again, any practices that you have where you take the time to connect with your feminine energy?
This is such a good question, and this, I think, this is one of the best platforms. If anybody who's listening to it, and everybody who's aware of the of the podcast itself, is being in your feminine energy. To me, is to receive.
Hmm. Yes.
Receivership. That is being feminine to me.
Yeah.
I think we all got everything so conked up because of the society, that feminism means, hating your uterus and not being, hating the men around you. No, everybody has both masculine and feminine energy. That's why it's called yin and yang in traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
But to me, that receivership has never been dominant. I've never known what it is to receive. And I have all my life been giving and giving and giving, thinking, oh, people are going to like me. Oh, am I doing the right thing? All of that, all the people pleasing. But then you start to realize something's not right, and what it is to really be in your feminine energy.
Yeah.
So, what are you not receiving? What are you not giving yourself that you're not able to receive from the world? So
Yeah.
for me, that is what feminism means. And what do I do of late to get aligned with it is to have this, feeling of being worthy. I am enough.
Mm.
I don't need to feel loved, liked. Actually, liked. It's not loved. It's the word.
Yeah.
How many people like me. Um, so I try to get into that feeling a lot these days, that I am enough, and I start finding the glimmers in life. Again, I try to relate it to my everyday life wherever I can, which is enough for me, because I can't say, oh, I'll do this practice, I'll quantum jump and leap, and people will be like, what the hell is that? Like, I don't know what you're saying. So for me, before I even speak about it to somebody else, I have to feel it within my body, in my body. And for me, it's the glimmers, finding joy in the small things in life, and to be able to receive everything that God offers, or the universe offers, or I can offer myself.
Yeah.
What can I offer myself in this situation? So that
Yeah.
is how I connect my feminism, if that makes sense. And then there's the second part to it, Akanksha. When we are on this process of learning to receive, you also have you ever realized that we want so many things, but then when we actually get it, do we know how to like get it?
No,
No.
I don't, honey.
I don't either. I'm like, what? And this is so true. And I'm like, oh shit, there's more work to do now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny because
Yeah.
when the universe really gives it to you, and then it's gone like that, and I'm like, what? I just manifested that shit now.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh my god, it's not just about receiving. Feminism, or being in this flow of gratitude, or receivership, is also being able to hold the damn thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's part two.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
And it's also, yeah, because you will be able to hold it if you actually truly in your core believe that you are
Believe.
worthy of receiving it. And
Absolutely.
these are the two biggest things that I have seen in women, where it's because the moment I asked, what does being in your feminine essence mean, and you said receivership, and it's just that those two prongs, receivership
Yeah.
and self-worth, is
It's
it's
connected.
self-worth. Just last night I was thinking to myself, self-worth is literally like the most widespread disease we have is the
Yeah.
problem of self-worth, which nobody feels they're worthy enough to be living a life that they actually feel like they
Desire.
deserve and they
Yeah, desire.
desire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
think it all boils down to self-worth. I mean, it's such an important word in everybody's life. Is life will not give you anything more or less than what you believe your worth is, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
So even if you learn to receive things, if you want to sustain it, and you're not able to sustain it, it's because you're not there. You have a little more work to do in terms of
Yeah.
self-worth. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And how do you how do you receive? Do you know how to receive? What is the hardest thing that's for you to receive?
Um Yeah,
Like,
that's deep.
yeah.
I do know to receive, in the sense I believe that I put in this work, so I am worthy of
Hmm.
the reward, which shouldn't actually be the go-to. You can receive easily. That's where the whole thing, law of attraction, comes, right? You
Yeah.
don't need to work hard to really every time to receive what you deserve, and to feel
Yeah.
worthy of it, you have to create an identity of your own, to believe that. But have I received it? Yes, I have. How? By just by not resisting. I
By
think it
not
goes
resisting.
by not resisting. I
Hmm.
think the moment we start putting filters and patterns and resistance to anything that we are with, in terms of people, projects, situations, then we lose it. I think when there's no resistance, it's good to listen.
Yeah, and also it's when you realize there's resistance, it's an opportunity for you to recognize that, oh, there's resistance, which means that there's something sweeter lying on the other side of it.
Yes,
So I need to
yes,
just be able to soften
yeah,
and open myself up and let the resistance just flow through me and see like what's on the other side. Just
what's
be
on the other
curious
side.
about it, right?
Very true, very true.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
beautiful way to, but to get to that stage, that's
yeah,
where the work is.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. What about any, do you have any like mindfulness and spiritual practices that you do apart from, like you said, there's journaling? You said you do a bit of meditation as well,
Yes,
right?
I do. I do. I tried to push it away for the longest time possible, saying that no, Arthi, you can be spiritual and
Yeah.
mindful without meditation, and it was not working out. But
Yeah.
then the moment I started practicing meditation in the morning, or before I go to bed, I could literally see things in my meditation, or get guidance from the universe like no other modality. So this really helped me to believe that there is so much you can, again, receiver
Yeah.
ship, right, where you can receive through stillness, and meditation was definitely one of that. The other thing that I practice is uh, repetition of just mantras. It could
Okay.
be affirmations. I am, as you gave me the introduction in at the beginning, that can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear
Okay,
you.
okay. So yeah, I'm from Kerala, and I was born in a place called Kanyangad, where
Okay.
there is 100+ year old ashram called Anand Ashram.
Okay.
I was born in there, in that place. So there we have mantra, jap mantra. We
Huh.
have a guru mantra, which
Okay.
is Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. It's
Okay.
just a mantra which I have been initiated with as a baby, and there is no rule or God or concept of anything in the ashram that they teach us. They say the true worship of God is through service, any
Hmm.
form. How are you giving back? That's what they aim at, and guru mantra helps me to really get connected to myself, my core. That's one practice that not many know, but
Okay.
now they do. But it has really helped me. It's just simple jap
And
mantra.
how long do you say the mantra for?
Anytime, like I'm actually repeating it even now. It's just now it's become so unconscious,
Wow.
in my head and my heart, that it's just a part of me now. But yes, consciously, as a practice, I used to do it every day in the morning for about 20 minutes, uh,
Okay.
which I
Can
continue to.
you share like how, because you said you do it even unconsciously, right?
Yes,
Like you're doing
unconsciously.
it right now.
Yeah.
So how do you think it helps you? Like what does it actually do for you?
What it does is it brings me back to my core. It
Okay, it centers you
disconnects, yeah, it
basically.
centers me, and it gets me easily disconnected from something that does not serve me in that moment. Like, for example, if I'm having a bad I don't know, email at
Yeah.
work, and I want to write something, but I don't write it the way I am feeling it. But then when I do my Ram Nam,
Yeah.
I immediately just centers me. It brings me this inner peace,
Mm.
which has been very soothing for my heart. And it instantaneously kind of gives me this feeling that you're not alone, because I remember our guru, when he was before his samadhi, he always used to say, you are never alone. Nobody
Mm.
is never alone. We are all one. Of
Yeah.
course, I didn't know the meaning then as a child, but now I do. But yes, so it gives you a sense of yeah,
Yeah.
peace, inner peace.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you said you gave the example of the email.
Yeah.
Again, the mantra is kind of like what gives you that awareness of being in the present moment and gives
Yes.
you also that time lapse between like
Yeah.
reacting to the email and then responding to the
Responding
email
to the
from a
email. Yeah.
place of like
Yeah.
calm and like peace.
Absolutely. And I'm not like that. It takes time. It takes, see, I think in this path, what I've realized is you really have to want it. You really have to want
Yeah,
the desire of getting out of the I don't know if
yeah,
I yeah, the matrix, right?
yeah.
Getting out of the norm. And when you have this hunger to get out, then yes, everything slowly opens up.
Yeah, yeah. And it's about, again, it's wanting and then asking for it. You
Asking for it.
have to
Yeah.
ask for it. Like
Ask and
I,
it shall be given.
yeah, exactly. And I ask, like, what I do every day is I ask, I'm like, show me how good it gets. Like, I say
Yes.
that every day.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
co-creating. That's why I think co-creating with the universe
Yes.
is what we do all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I just put something up on my stories that is coming to my mind right now. We are actually manifesting every day without we
Yep.
knowing it. And how
Yes.
do we do it? By the most dominant thought that we have is
Yeah.
going to manifest. So you don't need to really affirm and jump in quantum jump. And I mean that'll help.
Yeah.
That'll help. The affirmations will help. But what is your most dominant emotion? What is your
Yeah.
most dominant feeling throughout the day? And you will get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Feeling and like your emotion and the frequency of that
Frequency. Yeah,
emotion,
yeah,
right?
very much
And
so.
then what it actually calls in is not your thoughts, but the frequency of
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah, the
is.
vibration, what vibration you hold if you want something. Like you can
Yeah.
want $1 million, but do you know how it feels when you
Yeah.
have the $1 million? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the catch.
Yeah, so I was going to touch upon manifestation as well, like have a conversation around that.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about, and I want to do this very consciously with every guest that I have on the podcast,
yeah,
where, because, I want the audience, which will be mostly women, I suppose,
yeah,
to get comfortable with conversations around money,
yeah.
because
It's true.
nobody
Talks.
enjoys talking about money. There's so much like shame and guilt, and
Yeah,
oh, if I say like I like money, I'll be a bad person.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be like that. So I
Let's
want to
break that.
know, yeah, yeah. So I want to know what your relationship with money is right now.
Yeah, right now,
I
that's
mean, I know
a
you said that you are
yeah.
working towards a debt-free life,
Yes.
right?
So, my relationship with money right now is, to put it in one word, is easy. I want it to be easy on myself. I want it to be my best friend. I
Yeah,
want it to know that it is not higher in value that I want it. No, it's money doesn't know good and bad. Money doesn't choose to be with a rich person more and a poor
yeah.
person less.
It's just that the rich person is choosing to be with the money.
Exactly, because he treats it like its best friend.
Yeah,
So for
true.
me right now, and I'm not there yet, babe. Uh, I'm so fed up of living in a lack mentality, and I've been struggling with money so much. But I know in my core that this is not the life I will choose going forward, just because it was familiar all these years to hustle, hustle, hustle. Women don't need to hustle. Who brought this boss babe thing? No need to. No,
Yeah,
I understand. I still have a T-shirt that says "girl boss," and I bought it. But no, but then you realize that you don't need to hustle. So you have to have a relationship with money like it's your best friend. It's there for you whenever you want it to. So that's where I am at, to again make love to it, and to
yeah.
be its best friend, and let it know, to match the energy of money, that it's okay if you don't have it in notes,
Yeah.
but you are rich inside. How are you? And money likes discipline. Money likes practices and discipline. And I try to bring that discipline and practice in my life wherever I can. And when I do that very consistently,
Mhm.
I know the flow of money is also easy with me. Does that make
That's
sense?
interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard this before. Like money likes discipline because
Yeah, it does.
discipline
It
and
likes structure.
practice. Yeah, that's like the masculine energy, right? Of
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
Right. Very
yeah. So,
interesting.
so that's the balance. It likes structure. It likes discipline. So we can actually try it for ourselves, right? Anybody who's listening, if they have structure and discipline consistently, they will really see the flow of money is also easy. It's freeing. Money likes freedom. So, where in your life are you really feeling free? Where in your life are you creating structure and discipline? And also, when you create this structure and discipline, you receive it. So again, that it's all interconnected. You see?
Yeah, because it makes sense because the discipline and the structure kind of forms the foundation on
Yeah.
which then you can rest with your feminine energy and be like,
Exactly.
come
Exactly.
flow to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, this is something that I used to do with a lot of people, so I thought I'll bring this into the podcast as well.
Sure.
If you were to give a piece of advice to your younger version at any age, any piece of advice, what would it be?
Wow, this is such a beautiful question. I wrote a poem on my younger self, which I'll share with you separately.
Okay.
Um, what is the message I would give?
Yeah.
That it all turned out to be better than you ever imagined.
Yes.
It turned out to be so much more than you thought it would.
Yeah.
Because, I lived in fear for so long, and I think my body still carries it. So
Yeah.
I'm fixing it, and your work helps me a lot to let go of it. Uh, but yeah, it turned out to be great.
Yeah, that's beautiful because it's also something that you can apply now and be like, oh, so maybe my version 10 years from now, if she has to come and tell me the same thing, that it turns out so much better that you
So,
can't even imagine it right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
just be open to that
Just be
possibility.
open
Just be
and
curious about that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It
that's
just
beautiful.
gets me into this mode of imagination and visualization, because I keep
Yeah.
I keep visualizing my myself where I'm free, where I everything comes easy to me, uh, where I can just be who I am. I don't want any filter. I don't want to be nice. I just want to be raw as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Raw, yeah, really raw, and yeah, and everything unfolds so beautifully if you are willing to take that leap of faith. I think
Yeah.
that's all to it.
Faith. Yes.
Faith, yeah, it's a big word.
Yeah, which is that's what they say, right? Like for people who are religious, it's
Yeah,
praying, but for
yeah,
people who are like spiritual and
yeah,
who don't really want to involve like God in their conversation, it's intentions. So
yes,
prayers and intentions,
are the same thing. Yeah,
yeah, it's essentially the same thing.
yeah,
And faith is just who do you have your faith in? Like,
yeah.
is it God, universe, cosmos, your intuition? It's all the same thing.
AKA, it's you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
you, right? So I picked up this phrase, so I don't know if I made it up, I don't remember it.
Huh.
So it goes like this: Earth is a place where gods are born to forget that they are gods,
Mm.
only to return and see, sorry, only to see if they can return back as gods.
Yes, yes. Wow, I have goosebumps. But yeah, I
Earth, yeah.
completely believe that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
you are the creator of your own life. So when you know you can create your own reality, then I think you are God. What God are you talking about other than yourself? Because you are everything. to yourself and every. You have to see it in you first, otherwise it's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Again with the whole service thing, like giving, you can
Yeah,
only give
yeah,
if you have given it to yourself first.
yes,
So don't expect to be, out there and be like, oh, love and rainbows, unless you
yeah.
actually truly know how to love each and every like part of
Part of
yourself, even the
yourself.
parts that you are ashamed of,
Yes,
the parts of you that carry guilt over things you've done in the past. You have to learn to slowly accept and love, and then that is how you become love yourself.
yes, yes, absolutely. Acceptance is a big acceptance and forgiveness. I think we are not taught in school of
We're
how
not
to
taught shit in
shit. Exactly. Oh my god, I wish I could get into the education
like,
sector
yeah,
and yeah,
Venn
it's
diagram and Pythagoras theorem. Thank
yeah,
you. Yeah.
not helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, forgiveness and acceptance is I think it's the beginning of anything to work.
Yeah.
You have to accept.
Yes. Okay.
Beautiful.
As one last parting thing, what message, if anything at all, do you have for the audience?
Okay. I'm a humble girl. I'll stay humble,
You don't
but
need to stay humble. You
yeah,
don't need to.
well, in my own grand way.
Okay.
I'm a Sagittarius. After all, we don't do low key basic.
Okay.
But no, but what advice? What was the question?
Yeah, a message for
A
the audience.
message. Just learn to feel what you're feeling.
Mm,
Learn to sit with what you're going through. Don't run away from it. Don't smoke it away. Uh, don't run away from it, because that's where the gold is. If you learn to sit with the feeling, the especially the ones that are most difficult to be with, you're there. You're there halfway in understanding how to feel better. Because today, if we look at the world, there's not a single soul, not many, are happy with who they are at their core. In fact, they don't know who they are at their core. I didn't know who I was at my core until I got fed up of being someone else. And then, Akanksha, the mask really falls off with
yeah.
yourself, and you're like,
Yeah.
I am done. So and then it's like, oh, there's so much to it. But then you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's and to be, for me to be vulnerable, I want to close off by saying you are one, I think probably the only one on the internet that I am friends with who really allowed me to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know you.
Wow.
I've never seen you. And I did that because I was able to come to terms with being vulnerable with my ugly self. So yeah, feel it to heal it.
Wow. Yeah. That is a great message. One, not easy, not
Yeah,
easily done, but that's a
yeah.
great message.
And you are doing an amazing job by just giving this platform to people. I don't know how many can actually start it off without any ultron motive, or this thing of, oh, I need this, I need the followers, I need the likes. No, you're just there because you're there, and I love that about you.
Thank
Damn
you
it.
so
I
much.
love it. So
Thank you.
thank you for just having me and letting me speak.
I deeply, deeply receive your love, and I am so grateful that you came today and you took out the time for this conversation. For people to find you, where all can they find you?
Okay, they can find me on Instagram. I keep getting that my page shouldn't be private. It's called Soul Alignments only, if I remember it right. Yeah, Soul
There's
Align.
1111 in it, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
111. Yes,
Yeah.
that's my intuition number. Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. I have my website. I'm a tarot reader also. I
Oh,
do
fab.
Reiki. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I'll
So
put in your website also in the
yes, I
text.
have my
Okay.
website. I do this only to show people their own magic. That's why the name of the company is actually called Conscious Tarot, because even tarot must be consciously taken or received, because that's not the end to it. It'll only guide you. It's
Yeah.
just like a compass.
Yeah.
You are the magic, you are the spell, and my work of line wants to show people that they are all they need, and then everything comes with the family, the charming prince charming, the babies, all of it, whatever you desire, whatever your heart desires. So yeah, I'm
What's the website called again?
it's
Conscious
called
Tarot.
conscious-tarot.com.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that website, so I'm going to
Oh,
go
I'm
and
going to
see.
give it, yeah. Please do. It's my sole project. I started off in 2020, where everything
Okay,
changed for me. My whole life took a 360-degree turn. And yeah, I'm just here to be myself and show people that they can be themselves too.
that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Akanksha.
coming today.
Of course. I'm so happy. Thank you.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Cool.
I'll talk to
Okay.
you